Do you hear me talking to you across the water, across the deep blue ocean, under the open sky?
Hi, WIlna here. I'm going to make a page today layering ribbon, and I'm going to be using some brads from the On Trend by Crate paper, as well as some chipboards by dear Lizzy, Fit and Frolic. I cut these little squares using my silhouette, and I'm going to be using these little pieces from the cover paper of the collection 14 by Crate paper. So I went ahead and I printed my journaling on 12 by 12, and I copied the text and I pasted it just underneath. So there's two actually exactly the same pieces of journaling, but I found it was too harsh, so I'm going to layer some vellum over it to make it a little softer, and I'm going to adhere that down. And now I'm just going to make my page, first planning it. As you can see, I adhered those little pieces from the ad paper to my little squares that I cut. I added some embellishments to that, and now I'm just gonna see where I want it, and when I'm happy with that, I'm gonna adhere my ribbon. Now I'm gonna use some hot glue and carefully fold the ribbon and see how it falls naturally, and then I'm just gonna place a hot glue dot and stick it down. And you can see this is a beautiful satinish ribbon, which is quite soft, and I chose the color because it's the exact same color as the dear Lizzy Fit and Frolic background paper. I love the chevron, so I'm just going to adhere it, and that's how I love to adhere ribbon on my pages. So this little tutorial is just mainly to show you that. Now I'm just going to cut a little arrow out of the ribbon to make it match the front piece. Now a little tip, I'm going to take everything apart now because I want to add some ink. A little tip, before you take it apart, if you're scared you're not going to remember it, take a picture of it with your iPhone or your phone, and then you have a reference of exactly how you want your page to look. So also another tip is to use your embossing tool to dry paint quickly. So that's what I did there. Plus on vellum it dries a little slower, so I'm just gonna dab it with a paper towel. And now I'm going to adhere my picture with double-sided tape. Those can be a little tricky taking off, and I don't have long nails. So, and now I'm sticking down my picture, and now I'm gonna just adhere these little embellishments that I created with a hot glue dot. I don't use a lot of glue, as you can see, and I'm just gonna stick them down. I never throw away those little ads in front of a collection. I just love using those little thumbnails of papers. Maybe it's because they're little miniatures, and especially in little embellishments like this, it works amazingly well. So I'm just going to trim the picture just by using a steel ruler and a craft knife. And now I'm going to add my title 14 and my name and a date stamp.
Lucky to have been where I have been, lucky to be coming home again.